Good morning. How are you doing today?
Hello, good morning. Good, how are you?
Fantastic. I'm just going to go ahead and call it. You are the new queen of Hallmark. You are bringing a fresh voice, a fresh look, a fresh vibration. I mean, men and women over the past couple of years have been binge watching television. We come with so many different textures, and this movie fits right into what we want to see.
Yeah, it's a new for Hallmark, so I'm very proud to be in this one.
It's a movie that lives up to its title, Romance in Style. I mean, you get to be a fashion designer. What was that like to step into those creative shoes?
It was actually I mean, I've never been part of anything in fashion. I enjoy fashion, but it was an extensive experience on how to work on design and all that. I mean, we were lucky to have Kita Alfred, our wardrobe designer. She was so creative in coming up with ways to make this movie about body positivity and
Mm-hmm.
every outfit to make it like flattering and fashion forward, but also to make it believable as this up and coming designer in New York. I mean, we reused materials and patterns, and we really built a universe together. It was a lot of fun.
Well, the collaborations in between all the characters too. You talk about being real and stuff. I mean, you guys had to have sat down and said, okay, well, how would this really have happened if it was, if it was taking place? Because I mean, you guys do it so smoothly.
Yeah, I think a lot of what the movie or shooting the movie felt like is that the message of the movie itself is about being authentically yourself. And so it was sort of infused into everybody's approach as to how to make this movie. And it comes through as a very honest experience. I feel like we all wanted it to be as relatable as possible.
And as a viewer, I mean, one of the things that you take note right away is that everybody on that screen is beautiful. I mean, you really bring that forward inside this story.
Yeah, and I think everybody's beautiful in their own little quirky way,
Yes, yes.
and that's also part of the message. Is she Ella Richards repeats this throughout the movie, where she says, "If you feel beautiful, you look beautiful." I think it can sound a little cheesy if you just glaze right over it, but it's so true. It's everyone in the movie just shines in their presence. It's really something special.
In a very cute and loving way, rom com way, it really kind of plants a subliminal seed in the way of saying, the personality is the beauty, and you're right about that because I mean it's like so many people judge a book by its cover, not in Romance in Style. What happens is that you see people and getting together in a world where getting together seemed to go away for a while.
Right. Yeah. It's that's what we were hoping to create here is something that would resonate as a very important and necessary message in our world today. And I think it looks like we've done the gamble sort of paid off. I mean, it was such an amazing experience to shoot it, and I think that shines through because of this positive vibrant message that we're trying to get
Now,
through with it.
Now, making a Hallmark Mark movie, I mean, I've been blessed with the opportunity to talk with a lot of actors and actresses, and from doing the independent films to the big movies and things like that, and every one of them has their own texture and time scale. What about making a Hallmark movie? Do they take their time? How does the process happen in the way that they bring such quality to television every single time?
Yeah, I think Hallmark movies actually they shoot pretty fast.
Really?
um but there's a lot of it's sort of singularly, you sort of, I think when you go into shoot a Hallmark, you know exactly what you're doing, and it's such an iconic institution of these movies that they make that if you've ever watched a Hallmark, you know what you're going in to shoot. And so it makes for a very direct sort of experience. And um, if you can live fully in that world, then it's sort of comes together beautifully, as like it blossoms into a lot more than what you you can have if you just read the script. It's one thing, but then if you add to it all of the beautiful Hallmark magic that live in the production, then it just becomes something bigger.
Because I've been in radio for so long, I listen to people's voices. I study voices. I do voiceover work and stuff like that. Did you have a dialect coach? Because you speak perfect American English, and if I were to do a fake British accent, you'd go, "Stop it, dude! Stop it! Yeah."
It's funny because I always say I'm not very good at accents, but I do have a pretty good American accent. I didn't know for the longest time if I was putting it on or if it was just, I grew up speaking English, but I always had a French accent up until I was like maybe 12.
Wow.
And then if you wanted to be part of the cool kids, you had to have an American accent. And so, and then I thought I was putting it on, but, if I have a little bit of tequila, my French comes out. So that's how I
The movie we're talking about is Romance in Style, which is on the Hallmark Channel. When you put a film like this together and you talk about the subjects that we've talked about, which is the body positivity and self-acceptance and stuff, it's got to go beyond this in the way of, people with social media. Have you created a website? Will there be podcasts so that people can continue on to believe in the process of this growth?
Yeah, I haven't gone so far as like creating a podcast for it, but I think what we're hoping with this movie is to start this dialogue. It sounds like the dialogue has been started. This is not a new concept that we're bringing into the world, but presenting it in this light that you meet Ella Richards in the movie having fully accepted herself and her self-worth. And she's not questioning whether or not she believes in her mission. It's an already it's an already earned moment for her, and hopefully that's what we can create here is a perspective that gives people a glimpse into what that looks like and how it can work. And hopefully then they can explore that for themselves and then extend it to others. And then, hopefully more Hallmarks will come out of this. I'm always here to talk about it. This is something I've wanted to talk about. I've had issues with self-confidence and self-image, it all comes down to self-worth, I think. And I think we all have a hard time with knowing how to find that and be unapologetic and what we find at the end of the line. And so this is a small step for us, but it's I think going to be really impactful in our audience and hopefully in continuing this dialogue.
Yeah. You're spot on with that, because one of my podcasts on iHeartRadio is called The Daily Mess. It's exactly that, The Daily Mess. It's learning how to accept yourself, to be able to walk out there with confidence. And it really took, I've been a daily writer for 28 years. And people go, well, why do you write? Well, I wouldn't want to know who I would be if I wasn't writing. Do you go through the same process of learning more about the inner core of your creativity?
Yeah. It's interesting because I hadn't done a movie before, and this was my first experience, and I really wanted to show up as an authentic representation of what this body positivity message was going to be. And so it sort of like made me question my own relationship to myself and to what I think that is. And I came up with the only like sort of stable thing I know to be true is that body positivity is a practice. It's an everyday practice. Yep. It's not like some mystical state of mind that you can it's not like a nirvana that you've reached that you live in forever. It's got to be, you have to find reminders of who you are and what your worth is and how important you are and why you matter. And you kind of have to cling on to these things that you know about yourself, and remind yourself every day that you're valued and that you have a place on this earth, and that the more you live in that truth, the better you are for yourself and for society, really.
Do you find yourself being a student of life because you know somewhere along the line that the
Yeah.
experiences that you've gone through is you'll be a teacher too, because someone's going to come up to you and you're going to say, you know what, let's talk about this. I have dealt with this.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And this is what this movie is sort of did for me. It made me question my own, um, because I think we have a responsibility towards each other to be honest and be transparent about how difficult life can be, and how much of a challenge it can be to do anything, really. And then you add to that the body positivity movement. It's such a sensitive subject for a lot of people, and I'm lucky enough to be in a position to go through my own reflection and spread whatever positivity comes out of it, and hopefully that can inspire someone to do that for someone else.
I'm glad you used the word that you when you said you're lucky enough, because I mean so many people think that well, I'm doing this therefore it has to happen. And even David Crosby told me, he says, this is luck. This is luck. You just got to show up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, because a lot of people have to deal with much more difficult things in life, and this is something that this is a mission that I'm offered to 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 deal with, and it's very personal to me, and it's very personal to a lot of people. But at the end of the day, it's I'm presented with this awesome opportunity as an actor to work on my craft and also myself, and everything is growth. If you learn from something, you're just going to move forward, and so in that respect, I feel like I'm lucky to to be given this chance to provide perspective.
Yeah. And you're very committed to the community as well. I would love to talk about Valley Community Healthcare and what you do with these guys.
Well, Valley Community Healthcare is it's such an awesome organization. They provide affordable care for people who need options.
Hmm.
What I love about them is that there's such an all eh, there's such a huge they have so many versions of what am I trying to say? They provide such amazing care, from prevention to detection to actual care. They even have an in-house pharmacy that provides affordable medication. They make their own glasses.
Wow.
They're an amazing organization, and they're accessible to everyone, and they just they're really there for the community, and they do hard work, and they do it very well, and it's the people there are awesome. It's really worth checking out. It's Yeah, it's something I care about. I grew up in France, and health is accessible to all
Yep.
in and it sort of always seemed to me like that was an obvious something that was obviously going to be part of my life. And when I moved to America, I realized how many people are in dire need of care, and the Valley Community Health Center offers that for those people. So I'm very proud of what they're doing, and excited to share that message as well.
Isn't it fascinating to watch how it takes an entire, basically, village to be able to reach out there and touch another life? It's like a seed becomes a tree, becomes a sheet of paper, becomes words on a page, which I can share. I mean, there's such a continuation with Valley Community
Yeah.
Healthcare in the way that they're it's not about them, it's about who can I serve.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And they're so dedicated to that idea. It's not easy work that they're doing, and I talk with the people at Valley Community Health Care Center, and and it's it's a struggle to keep funding, to help people to follow through, but they're doing it, and they're doing it really well, and I commend these people. It's amazing what you can do if um if you care.
The movie we're talking about is Romance in Style on the Hallmark Channel. You asked the question, and boy, this is really going to wake up a lot of people's hearts. What makes the perfect couple? I mean, what a question during a time where things are changing so quickly. We come out of COVID, now we've got monkeypox. What makes the perfect couple?
Yikes, the perfect couple. I mean, geez, I think that depends. I mean, and that's sort of, you can put onto any answer, but it's very true. It's perfect is really an unattainable sort of idea. I think what's perfect is what works for you, and that's sort of at the heart of even the movie that we're making. Is you need to realize what works for you, and what's important to you, and then that's what's gonna be perfect. I think also, in terms of like coupling,
Mm-hmm.
um, someone who someone who like hypes you up, someone who sees you for who you are, and who loves every part of that, and where you can be your unapologetic self.
And
I
and
think.
and singing horribly out of tune can also help perfect that couple because if you're going to sing out of tune, just do it together. Just have fun doing it.
Yeah, as long as you're on like the same positive, uplifting journey.
One of the things that you cover inside the story that makes it so real, and that's what I love about movies when it feels like something that you can step right into, and that is that the business world of today is in transition. And you guys talk about that inside this story because Derek is taking over the family business. That's happening in the real world right now. And so a lot of people will look at Derek and hopefully will take something from it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is how I mentioned, it's like it's a first for Hallmark. See, my French is coming out now. First for Hallmark. However, this is not a new conversation that we're having. It's a timid conversation. We're all just finding our step in those ideas, but it's it's something that we've sort of been revving up, and that conversation is being had on many different levels. It's present on social media, it's present in business, it's present on movies. Hopefully it's present on people's minds, and we can grow it as a society.
Speaking of minds, I was just reading up that Hallmark is on a huge mission right now of empowering the minds as well as the heart. That's a big thing that they're taking on. But they with people like yourself, that's how they're going to make the change.
Yeah, yeah, hopefully. I think that's the idea. And what a beautiful thing for Hallmark to do. They know how wide and how many people I mean, how far they reach. And I feel so lucky that they've included me in this mission that they have, and and that they're achieving beautifully, I think.
Do you ever go back and listen to your basically your testimony? What I love about your vocal strength and your personality is it's like you're saying I am because I am, and I just love that about your personality.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm continuously humbled by the people around me in my life, in my experiences, and it teaches me that we're all just human. We're all just trying our best, and honestly, if we can find a little peace and happiness and love along the way, then we're doing all right. And if I can contribute to that, then my job is the best job in the world.
Well, moving to America 7 years ago, has it taken you a while to get used to the American culture as well as our weirdness? Because we are weird in America. We really are.
Yeah, there are subtleties that I didn't expect about being. I always assumed that I would be like a fish in water, There are little things that I didn't expect that were different, but overall, it's my job is my work, and working in America, and it's just I found a very exciting life here, and
Yeah.
then I believe that if you take risks that follow your instincts, sort of the things will follow and fall into place. And I was very lucky to find that in LA.
Oh man, I love your heart. You got to come back to this show anytime in the future, Jaicy. The door is
So
always going to be open for you.
I appreciate you, Arrow. Thank you.
Well,
Also, I want
you be
a
brilliant.
name.
What's that now?
I really like your name, Arrow. I had never heard that before. I'm gonna
It's just
remember.
it's just a radio thing. If I were in the acting world, it'd be the same thing. It'd be you do things to get the attention of people so they don't forget it.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Thank you. You too. Have a beautiful day. Bye.